Hello, I am Quinny, welcome to the channel. In this video today guys, I'm going to be doing the if I started Sorare today topic again. I did it last month and I had so much fun going through it, and with it now being the beginning of a fresh month, already I feel like so much has changed. So if you're finding this video for the first time, you're looking to find out a little bit more, you're looking to get started in the game, this video is basically if I was doing, with all the experience I've kind of gathered so far and where we're at the moment, what kind of immediate strategies could we go for, and what sort of things could we look at over the next 2 months as an entry point. If you're watching this and you've been on Sorare for a while, you're a regular subscriber to the channel, these same things are applicable of course to different aspects of your strategy, moving between scarcities or regions and that kind of stuff as well. At any point in the video today guys, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe, share, retweet, all the good stuff guys. Stay out of trouble and let's get stuck into it. If you could hit the subscribe button, I do daily global football content, everything from Wonder Kids and Rising Star Managers to fantasy football and watch-alongs. That will also automatically enter you into my April giveaway. This month I'm giving away a rare under-23 midfielder, Luciano Ferreira of Rosario Central, and 2 limited goalkeepers. If you want to stick around to the end of the video, we'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now guys, for a limited time, Sorare are guaranteeing the free card you get once you buy 5 from the market to be a tier 2 MLS card, okay? Now, normally what's in the link in the description of these videos is the affiliate link, but in this video, I've added in the refer a friend link, so you'll see that. So if you're looking to open up your account, hitting that link is going to get you a free tier 2, which is like not the worst tier, it's like one up, so your guy probably plays MLS card. And you know, subsequently I'll get a free limited as well, and I've already had 3 refer a friends. There's our pal John, SRTT and Pika there. So if I can get to 30 throughout this special event throughout this month, I will also get a unique. So I need another 27 of these. If there's 27 of these who watch this video, you haven't signed up yet, you will get a better card than normal for signing up on that link. It's in the description of this video. It'll be the pinned comment below as well. And you know, your man here, we might get a unique if you know enough views go for it. In terms of like what you need to do to get the free card, you need to buy 5 limiteds from the primary auction. Limiteds can be as cheap as, you know, £6, £1.54, £1.70. They can be as cheap or as expensive as you want them to be, but you're guaranteed for this month that it will be a tier 2 MLS limited card. So all that to one side, there's two main kind of avenues that I think anyone coming to the game now will want to exercise, or really should exercise. The first one is going to be like the considered approach, you know, so you're going to like try and size everything up and, you know, work your way in gradually over the next like whatever time period you want to set out. And the other one is going to be much more kind of high speed, high velocity, getting your hands dirty right away, trading in the market, that kind of stuff. Depending on what tickles your boat or whatever floats your pickle. Everything will be timestamped down below, so you can check out all the video if you want, or you can just check out exactly what you think might be a bit more appropriate for you. If you're going to be taking the more kind of considered approach, and what I mean by that is you probably you'll be able to work out what your disposable income is that you want to play this game with, because the budget is really down to you. It's not like a traditional game where you'll just go, alright, it's 50 quid for the game and 300 quid for the console, then I'll do in-game purchases that rack up to X amount or whatever. It's one of these ones that you kind of go, as you kind of pay as you go in terms of what cards you want, and equally you can kind of get out in terms of like selling cards back into the market in that respect as well. So looking at it fundamentally, if you know that, oh, do you know what, for something like this I would probably spend around X number, and you can kind of think of that in your head, and you would probably know that either you have that sitting there lying around doing nothing and you want to have some fun with it, or it's something that you know that you maybe take like X amount a week out of your budget for recreation purposes, whatever that is, okay? But you know you've got a kind of budget in your head and you're going to accumulate that money gradually, or you're going to deposit it gradually or whatever. At this moment in time guys, with it being June and then obviously the following month, July, it's all going to be about preparation for the European season. Now, when you do come into Sorare, a lot of people think straight away like, oh, I have to get utility as quick as I possibly can, or I'm not going to be really engaged in this game. And one thing that I think is really understated when you're getting started is burnout, okay? Because the first thing that you're going to want to do, especially if you're taking that more considered approach, is you're going to want to scout the market. You'll be all over Sorare data. If you're not familiar with Sorare data, again, the link will be in the description of this video to the website, but it gives you all the API data to average price in the last auctions, all the bids and average prices for the last as long as time has began on Sorare kind of idea. And doing that can be exhausting, can be time consuming. So to then get cards that you're very quickly going to get and deploy, again, that can burn some people out, and then that's when you kind of fall into different mistakes and traps. So if you are going to take that more kind of considered approach, I think you can have a lot of fun, and I really mean this in terms of taking like time to build your team. If you're thinking about Europe, or you're thinking about just starting the game now, and you're like, I want to make sure I don't make any wrong moves, put any wrong steps, then I would definitely be looking at Europe, and I would definitely be laying out the next 2 months as like, I'm going to feel my way through what auctions come up at a good time that work for me, or anyone who lists at the secondary market below average values. These guys I can pick up over the next 2 months, and that's the game, and that's the fun, and that's the enjoyment that I'm going to have when I first come in and first get started in the current landscape. If I'm taking that considered approach with Ethereum moving backwards, with the market doing all the different things it's doing, with in-season, out-of-season, new cards, limited rares, all that kind of stuff, with there's so many moving parts going around, there's going to be bargains, there's going to be absolute steals that fall between the cracks. And if you can be kind of laser focused on getting the best like pre-season for your team before the European season kicks in, I think that will be the best way served to take that more kind of considered approach. I want to build a team I'm going to have fun with for the full season, or for the next 2 or 3 seasons, or whatever it may be. I've made plenty of content around how to build your squad, and even if you check out the If I Started Sorare video today from last month, again, you can see the sort of profiles and the sort of depth that I like to build out into squads that I always recommend beginners start with, in terms of reliability, guys that start off and etc. But especially at this point in time, I would make sure that we're thinking about cards that don't just offer utility, but other ones that offer some sort of economic deployment, you know. So it might be a backup goalkeeper that turns good, or somebody who's injured, that kind of thing. But with there being so many moving pieces in the market, like I've already mentioned, some of these ones, they can jumpstart your gameplay when they do come to pay off, when the season does kick in and that transfer happens, or the guy returns from injury and he's better than ever before. But one kind of profile of purchase that's always overlooked and always kind of undervalued in terms of, you know, the headspace and the maintenance they require is these like basic foundation pieces. The guys that are like L1550, you know, like they play all the time, they're not too flashy, they're not too expensive, they're probably quite cheap. But the guys that you can buy, and you can, you know, you kind of like them already, perhaps depending on what league we're talking about, what club, etc. And they're guys that you know they can fill in on a blank week if a guy does get suspended or does get injured, and it's a guy that you've got some sort of familiarity with already. Because these pieces are the ones that when you will in the future, in 3 months from now, in 6 months from now, go to make moves in the market, these are the kind of pieces that you do rely on as the bedrock to allow you to be a midfielder light for the next week or two, because you just sold that big guy who's come into form that you bought in pre-season and is came good. Some of those foundational pieces being of a good enough caliber is very underrated and very overlooked, especially when you're starting out and your gallery is going to be smaller and you've got less room for manoeuvrability when you're doing your first couple of successful trades, moving up the ladder, etc., over the first like 3 to 6 months. So for me personally, my experience of like engaging with the game of football over my lifetime has taken many forms, basically from computer games, FIFA, Football Manager, that kind of stuff, going to games. Also, I've got a UEFA license, I'm a coach as well, and then there's other things as well, like in-play betting and gambling that I used to do. All of these things relate around information, they all relate around opinion, and they all relate around the current comings and goings and speculation on what might happen later in the season, or what might happen in the next month, or next year, or 3 years from now, or the next World Cup. And if that's the way you're kind of wired as well, in the limited division now, these competitions are available across all the scarcities, but they're available every game week in the limited scarcity. The limited scarcity is the gold one that's out of 1,000. The specialist and the underdog competitions are two of the most attractive divisions in the game at the moment in terms of how cheap they are to play, the upside on rewards, and the difficulty of competition. If you're able to go and source information, go and find who's the guys with the good fixtures, who have a bad run of form maybe coming into it, who are likely to turn around, because a lot of these game modes do handicap the conditions around the team you can build. Or they have to have an L15, last 15 matches, average score of 50 or below, or if it's for the specialist, there's a condition where the worst players need an L15 of under 40. So if you can find those kind of hidden gems, if you can find those guys that their recent form doesn't really show exactly what's going to happen this weekend, then that division can be very liquid to operate in. You can buy cards very cheap just to use them for a couple of game weeks. Maybe you take, you know, a small market trading loss on one or two, and then you take big upside on a couple other ones that maybe come good on the other end, as well as enjoy winning rewards by getting into some of the biggest competitions early on. By operating in this way from the start, you do accept that you will be at risk risk of market changes. You know, if you buy a guy at like £10 to play limited, and then after the underdog's done, he's not really worth much to as many people, and he's then £7. That is what it is. You have to kind of accept, you know, some guys are priced because of these utility purposes, and the key can be getting them in before, or sometimes they're just good value for money. You buy the guy for a tenner, it helps you win 2 or 3 things, you sell him for £7, that's still a decent transaction overall. And the best leagues to be operating in at this moment in time, June, if you're going to be wanting to get your hands dirty and get stuck in right away with limited underdog and limited specialist, and really putting your knowledge to the test and really putting your market trading skills to the test, it's Argentina, Brazil and MLS. Those guys are on the now, and they're going to run all the way up to the World Cup, as will the European season. But if you're going to operate in this kind of fashion where you can trade in and out of cards much easier with limiteds as you can any other scarcity at the moment, even though you're picking up guys in season now, you'll be selling them on in the future, they'll still be in season. And equally, as you're going and you're winning rewards, you may be making trades as you go, it can be an idea to bank in some guys that you know you really like anyway. You now can afford to get that star limited from Champion Europe, you know, your Mbappe, your Messi, whatever the guy it is that you really want to own, because of some of the success you've had in this kind of European off-season or pre-season with the South American and the MLS guys that are in at the moment, and you're using that kind of statistical ability to be able to look at fixtures, look at form, and be able to pick out those diamonds in the rough in the marketplace. I think in an ideal world you would try and do both of these things, and again, like if I was starting today, one thing that I would, if you have the capital to do so, a rare goalkeeper is just going to be so valuable from like August onwards. You know, there's going to be no common goalkeeper anymore permissible in All-Star Rare, which is a huge change on the platform, and anyone who's currently native to the platform understands that. But anyone who's coming in new, please understand that the rare goalkeepers are likely not going to get cheaper, to say the least, anytime soon. So if you have the ability to get one that you think is good value for money on any level, on any currency that you're working in, then it's something that I would put heavy consideration into. What I'd love to see from you guys in the comment section down below is if you started Sorare today, if you're a returning subscriber of course, let me know what the key thing is, the key lesson from when you started that you would change differently if you were to start today. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share and retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye. Let's get into all the giveaway stuff before I let you go. I'm still doing monthly giveaways, and I'm making it easier to enter. If you want to be entered to win this month's prize or any future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, you need to be a subscriber to enter, then leave a comment down below. Each month, a random comment from a random video will be selected as the winner, so the more videos you leave a comment on, the better the chance you've got of winning any of my giveaways. All the winners are announced at the end of videos the same way as we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. As always guys, if you've enjoyed the video today, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. On screen now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.